And look, we got a great show for you, and we're going to dive into it really quickly. Speaking of the new year, Will, let's go right into it. Hey, what are you excited for in 2024?
You know what? It goes to exactly what you said in the intro. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. That's what has me so excited about 2024 is in just one, less than a week from now on Sunday, we play our last game against Dallas. Then we go ahead and then, the next day they call it Black Monday, but we're going to, Ron Rivera and we don't know who else, but a lot of people are going to be let go. And it's going to be an opportunity for us to finally see what the Harris ownership group is going to do with this franchise. One of the first moves they're going to make is revamping the front office, not just the coaches, but revamping the front office. And from that's going to stem down to what happens with head coach, assistants, set, free agency, draft order, everything kind of just basically set the franchise. But it's going to start at the top. There's a lot of reports of the unknowns of who's going to be let go. Is it going to be everybody being let go? Is there a chance that team president Jason Wright gets let go? Are we releasing Martin Mayhew and Marty Herney from their contracts? Are we firing majority of our scouting department? What are we doing here? And that is what has me really excited, because I also think based on when those decisions are going to start having the ripple effects on who is coming in as head coach, what schemes are running, etc. And so there's going to be able to connect some dots that I'm really excited about. Do you want to share your stuff, or do you want me to throw out some names first? What would you prefer?
I will share some things real quick. Honestly, yeah. I'm excited too. And I think what I'm excited about is what we kind of anticipated a year ago. Once Dan Snyder officially left and the new regime came in, we thought, okay, here we go, night and day. Things are going to be so much different. And obviously they weren't. Things, took their time, and we had to go through this whole season. But I'm just excited for the unknown. We're finally in a position for the first time, I think, in our and all the time that we've been really following this and really kind of really doing the deep dive outside of being just a fan. This is the first time where we're really tearing it down to the studs, and we're really have the opportunity to build this thing up. And we just don't know. We don't know. But we do know it's not going to, we hope it's not going to be here we go again. It's not going to be Dan Snyder out there. It's not going to be, some of the names, Rivera, Mayhew, some of these guys. Hopefully they'll all be gone, and then we'll have a new regime that they might know about the past and how we've been struggling, obviously, but they haven't been in here. So they don't have that whole that ick, that's the yuck all over them.
Yes.
Fresh thing, just kind of like Josh Harris and Magic. They didn't come in here, always like, woe is me. Oh man, we're losing. No, they came in here like we're winners and we're trying to make it win. And when we didn't win, they were notably upset about it, and they spoke out about it. So I'm excited to see the vision that they have implemented this off season into next year. I'm ready for 2024 and 2025 going down. Like I'm very excited, and I'm excited to see what my guy might do. What the team might do in keeping my guy, or if they'll go another direction. But what are you excited about as far as players and things like that, man?
Well, so you're so right, though, about when you talk about a fresh start. Do you realize that 4 years ago yesterday, Ron Rivera was introduced at a press conference, and we had the number 2 overall pick, and we felt this freshness about him because we were like, well, we got a respected coach. Right. He's going to be a coach centric. He's going to be a no BS guy. All his players in Carolina likes him. We're back to being respectable. This is like our Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
But here we are 4 years later. There's a chance to have the number 2 overall pick in the draft and go fresh start and kind of go full circle. And, and the saddest thing right now is we don't have a better roster 4 years later than what he inherited.
No.
It's really sad that you can't name a single player that you're like, that guy, somebody wants that guy. Another team would love to have that guy. that
Right.
he's brought in, which is kind of crazy. So I'm with you where it's like getting the ick out. Like I loved what Ron did when it comes from he was a face of our franchise, and he went through a lot with that, dealing with Snyder and the name change and the countless lawsuits and all that stuff. But the football stuff didn't get better. And now I'm ready for our franchise to take another direction. And that's what has me so excited, because from the early reports, and you gotta know how you and I have been talking about this, not much is coming out about this. If whatever they've done, whatever conversations that they've had are behind the scenes and being kept quiet. So people are just speculating on the next people available, to a franchise, but they don't know a whole lot is going on. But there's some rumblings here. A report came out that the Harris Group wants to see our franchise modeled after some of the most successful franchises, the Ravens, kind of what the 49ers, what Philadelphia. And so there's some names that are tied to those organizations too, which make a lot of sense of trying to connect the dots. But that part, just that alone, I would even throw the Steelers in there. They weren't, but like that's the type of franchise I want us to go back to being, like we were in the late 80s and 90s, where you had smart moves being made and guys down below that were going to be groomed to take over. It's a different NFL, so you can't really do all of that the way we would do it. But it was just a well-run organization, and that's what has me most excited to look for. I'm gonna let you go before I name some names.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and I know we just talked about the Ron Rivera stuff from a week ago when we dove into it, and you guys obviously really love that conversation. But a lot of it is that speculation, a lot of it is that excitement that we are changing. But going back to 4 years ago, I mean, we got to remember how deep in it we really were. You know what I mean? Coming into that season where we were 3-13, Josh Johnson ended up giving us a win or something to put us to a certain spot. Look, it was just a lot of stuff. And at that point, it wasn't even, I don't even know if at that point, I mean, we obviously wanted to win, but at that point, I don't even know if winning was as important as just changing the narrative.
Yes.
Just changing it. And so when we look at Ron, obviously we say, things on the field might not have changed. We didn't really get anything different and anything that we can really be excited about. Everybody on the team, to bring up our guy Anton Benton, seems to be moral support. Yeah. Everybody is a rah-rah, great. I love these guys, but it's not anybody that other teams fear. Speaking of a game that we're going to be playing this Sunday, we don't have that Micah Parsons that teams all around the league are like, God, we want him. We want him. Even CD Lamb breaking records out there. You know what I mean? We don't have those things. So from that perspective, yes, it definitely looks like a failure, but it took 4 years to get us out, kind of getting us out of that stuff. And I got to give Ron his respects for that. But it kind of just seems like we're finally breaking even. We're finally back a little bit above water with just the sky is the limit right now. Right. You know what I mean? It was harder when you go back 4 years ago to look and see the sun and the sky through the clouds and the rain and everything. But right now, I mean, everything's in front of us. Everything's in front of us, Will. And I hate to be cautiously optimistic because we have been here before. But like you said, the way these guys are trying to culture things, the way these guys are trying to mold things and build things, the organizations are trying to take after and follow. Right. It really gets me hyped up,